This is the quick and unglamorous story of my humble DI box. DI box is direct injection, and it's direct injection because it's plugging directly from my source into my USB device or my mixer. This, believe it or not, is a mixer, and this is a picture of a keyboard. I've chosen a keyboard because I can just about draw a keyboard, but it could be a guitar or a bass guitar, some kind of input here. And of course we need the DI box because by and large our instruments are outputting in this kind of cable, and our DI box converts from that cable into our XLRs that our mixer and USB audio interfaces are expecting. And if it's using a 1/4 inch jack to start with, 1/4 inch TS jack, it goes without saying that that signal is unbalanced, which is lucky because, again, by and large, our instruments are producing unbalanced signals. There are exceptions, but if there were exception, we wouldn't be using a DI box. 1/4 inch TS jack, it's unbalanced, and of course my DI box is transforming the signal and it's going to have an XLR output, and that is going to be balanced. For all of the lovely reasons that I explained in my balanced video, the final piece of the puzzle is that my guitar, keyboard, bass, electric banjo is also producing high impedance signals. Now you don't need to worry too much about impedance, except you need to know its resistance in an alternating current. And realistically, why is it important to us? Well, if you get an impedance mismatch, then you get signal loss. So the input of our mixer is expecting what's called low impedance. It's expecting a low impedance signal, but because microphones output low impedance signals, and the microphones are plugged into our XLR inputs, so it's expecting this. If you get a mismatch, you get signal loss. We have to convert. Now, you can see that it's just the opposite. You need to remember which side is which, what goes where, but it's from TS to XLR, unbalanced to balanced, high impedance to low impedance. That's trivial. Okay, the final picture of the puzzle, the twist in the tail, is what happens if your guitarist or your precious artist in the studio also has an amazing amp that they really feel strongly about. They spent thousands of pounds on some lovely valve amp, so I'm going to draw, oh goodness, some kind of representation of that here. That's not a washing machine or a fridge. That is some lovely amp. And they want to use this as well as using the direct sound, because they're not entirely sure that you're going to do a good enough job if you're processing the amp software within Logic or within your DAW. They also want to record on, a nice proper amp that they've spent, years of their life saving up for. So there is, as well as this output, there's a second output, except this output is called link. I like to call it through, but most DI boxes call it link, and it goes straight from this input, basically bypasses the DI and goes straight out here. So all of the facts for this cable, we don't need to summarise them because they're these facts. It's as if the DI box never existed. This cable is a TS jack, it's unbalanced and it's high impedance, so that you can mic up this amp and record the clean signals simultaneously.